Okay, this is a short video to help you with setting the correct torque on your lug nuts. Now, this is my wife's car, 2014 Altima, and she got some new tires on it a couple of years back. And now when you get new tires, very often the nuts are over torqued. And what I like to do is, in my driveway, what I like to do is set the torque. The reason being, I don't want to get a flat tire and find that I can't get the wheel off. The tool that comes with this Altima is not terrible. It's actually a little bit longer than some of the tools I have with some of my other cars. But still, I could not get those nuts off with this tool. So that's a sign that they're probably on too tight. Also, when you get older, you have a harder time getting them off anyway. But first I should say that I did check the spare tire. It's supposed to be at 60 psi, and over time, of course, the pressure is going to go down. I found that my spare here was at 40, which is probably fine, but I did pump it back up to 60. Now, in getting this lug nut off, before I could set the torque, in this case, I used my breaker bar, and I used this cheater pipe, which happens to be the handle of my floor jack. But, and that allows me to get them off without breaking my back. Okay. Then once I have them loosened, I can then tighten them. On this car, I was able to find a manual online and other resources online indicating that 83 foot-pounds. Now, when I tried getting them off, I brought that all the way up to 150 foot-pounds, and they would not come off. But when I went to snug them up, I first snugged them up to 83, or 90, let's say, of course. You can't really do 83, but I just snugged it up to about 90. Then I double-checked to see if I could loosen them with this. And I could. And then, having done that, I then snugged them up with this, which is to say I put them on to more or less about as tight as I could get it with this. Okay? And then I know that they're in the right ballpark. Okay? They're not necessarily exactly at 83, but a little bit higher, of course, because when you're on the road, you probably are going to be able to get the energy to get one off. Okay? And you don't want them to be a little bit loose. That's probably why they tighten them to begin, over-tighten them anyway. They don't ever want them to become loose. Now, another thing is, it's nice when you're traveling, if you can, is to carry with you a breaker bar that's bigger, so that if you do have to do a repair on the road, it's easier to get off with this. Like I said, I was able to get them off with this when I had it tightened to 83 foot-pounds. But still, you might find yourself in a difficult situation where you don't have firm ground to work on, and it's nice to have that little extra leverage. And of course, if you have another driver in the car who is not as strong, and that's going to help them get it off. This particular case, I happen to have an old lug wrench that I don't even know where I got, and this one happens to have the 13/16, which is what this one is. So this is another one which is a little bit longer than the one that came with it. So this can be used to carry on the car. I don't normally use this. When I'm in the driveway, I like to use this one when I'm working on cars. This one is not as easy, but it is longer than this one, so it would be a good candidate to carry in the vehicle, just in case they're tough to get off. Okay, so that's just a little tip on checking these. Okay.